Hello everyone, my name is Muir and this is my Mystic Sage build for Atlyss. This build focuses on using the Mystic spells for its damage and survivability with its weapon as a backup when it's out of mana. The Mystic Sage differs from the Mystic Knight and Berserker in that it is how I think the class is actually intended to be played. As such, our attributes, skills, combat strategies, and general playstyle are very different from the other two. Our attributes are distributed using a 2-to-1 spread, putting 2 points into mind for every 1 point into vitality. This is a bit of a glass cannon, but our defensive skills can help with that to an extent. Keep in mind that increasing the mind stat improves our maximum mana and mana regeneration rate, but not the damage we deal with mystic spells. Our spells for this build are split into 3 major categories: offensive, defensive, and utility. Our offensive skills are Flux Bolt, Cross, Flux Spear, and Nova. Flux Bolt is our primary damage dealing spell. The spell deals a little more damage than the one-handed melee mastery spinning jump attack. It also deals damage in a small area of effects when it hits something represented by the blue cloud it generates. It hits up to 4 times, with the first hit dealing double damage. However, it has a catch. It has a casting time and requires a decent amount of mana to spam. It does represent a direct upgrade to the novice spells in terms of raw damage. Cross is a channeled ability that fires a ball of magic into the air. When you stop channeling the ability, the ball explodes, hitting enemies, dealing damage, and lowering their magic defenses for a short time. Flux Spear deals a small amount of damage and stuns enemies in a straight line. Nova deals high damage in an area around you and knocks enemies away from you. In essence, this is your skill combo ender that lets you get out of melee quickly after dumping damage into the enemy. Our defensive skills are Prism and Restore. Prism gives us temporary hit points that last for 20 seconds. Importantly, any attack blocked by Prism is treated as a miss. Restore heals all allies in a large area. Our utility skills are Imbue and Mana Flow. Imbue increases your magic power, magic defense, and maximum mana for 60 seconds. Mana Flow increases your mana regeneration rate, and this is vital for our build. I don't recommend using Blink for this build. Whenever you use Blink, it resets your mana regeneration cooldown. Removing this cooldown reset means that you'll likely never be out of mana for very long. Our equipment for this build revolves around increasing our maximum mana and defenses. We can use a shield with a scepter, so take the best shield that you can. The majority of our damage comes from our spells, so your weapon is generally a backup and therefore doesn't matter all that much. Our playstyle with the Mystic Sage is a bit more tactical and challenging than the Mystic Knight or Berserker. The primary reason behind this is that our entire kit is dependent on managing our mana. When we are out of mana, we can't really do much aside from just attack with whatever weapon we have equipped. On top of that, this build is very bursty in nature and dumps pretty much all of its damage in a very short period of time. After this burst window, the Sage more or less waits for Flux Spear to come off of cooldown before just bursting like crazy again. Between these burst windows, the Sage can shoot Flux Bolts and dash in for Novas, but the majority of the damage is going to happen during the burst windows. So our general rotation is going to go something like this. First, we want to use Imbue to increase how much mana we have. Second, we want to hit our enemies with Cross, since that will debuff their magical defenses. Third, we want to use Flux Spear to stun enemies after they have gathered together. Fourth, we want to cast Flux Bolt on the enemy. We may be able to get off a second Flux Bolt before enemies can attack us, but it's not really guaranteed. Fifth, we cast Nova to damage enemies and push them away from us. Sixth, we dash away from the enemy and wait for our mana to refill and for Flux Spear to cool down. When you take damage, use Restore to heal yourself and your allies. This is doubly important for the Sage due to its low health. Use Prism in combat whenever it is ready, since we are less resilient than the Mystic Knight or Berserker. And that is it! Enjoy the demonstration in the Crescent Grove. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. First, we want to try to use Imbue. Can you fail to use it? Imbue increases your magic power, magic defenses, and magic mana. Our offensive skills are Flux Boat. 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 It's a boat made of flux.